Hello. How is everybody today? How's it going? I'm going to try to keep an eye on my chat a little bit. If you see me looking down, that's what I'm trying to do. Hope everybody is having a good day. I have an amazing, easy recipe for you guys today. A very classic recipe. So it's going to be good. So I have a few people logged in. I see 3 people logged in, so we will get started. And I think people can do a playback anyway, so it'll be good. Yay, thank you everybody. This is the second week in a row that my technology has gone well, so I think I have a system down now, and it's all good. So we can get started. So in this video, I am going to be making a sort of healthier version of a classic Caesar salad. So lately I've been trying to lose weight. I actually joined like one of those popular apps. And so it's just nice to try to like retool all these different recipes and make them healthier. And obviously they're plant-based. They're going to be much healthier than normal anyway. So we will get started. So the first thing that we're going to make is that you usually need on Caesar salad is bacon. You always have bacon bits on Caesar salad. And then the other thing that's difficult to get down very well is the Caesar salad dressing. And I've had a few vegan Caesar salad dressings that were like store-bought from Daya Foods, which they sell a lot of vegan cheese. And I thought it tasted more like blue cheese dressing, which is kind of gross if you want a Caesar salad dressing. So I haven't had like a store-bought like nice vegan Caesar salad dressing pretty much ever, maybe at restaurants. But anyway, so I have a new recipe with a cool new ingredient that I haven't used yet. So that's cool to show you as well. And my dad is saying he is a celebrity guest. He is a celebrity guest. He buys all my jewelry for me, actually. I don't have anything that I'm wearing right now, but definitely a special guest. Okay, so first part of getting our Caesar salad correct is getting the bacon nice and ready. So we're using an ingredient I used a few weeks ago, which is our Tempeh. So this is a Canadian brand, and I believe they're available in the US as well. I don't know about the UK, so maybe someone can tell me. So Light Life Tempeh. And so that comes packaged like this. And you can't really see it. I won't try to zoom in or anything, but if you're trying to watch your calories but get a lot of protein, half of this package, so that's that much, is only 160 calories, but it has 18 grams of protein. So there you go, tons of protein. So this is what it looks like. And I wanted to show you guys this package because most of the packages I get are one color. But if you are shopping for Tempeh, if you see gray spots, so you see how this side is not gray, but this side has little gray spots on it, that is okay. That is part of the fermentation process. So Tempeh is soybeans that are fermented and then packed hard into a little patty. But little bits of gray like this are fine. If they're black, then probably not so much. But when you're shopping, that's fine. And like a lot of stuff, if you do a smell test, you can clearly smell if it's bad or not. So this just smells like nothing. So it's fine. So we are going to make Tempeh bacon. And we're going to use a bacon marinade recipe that I've used before, but we're going to change it because my old recipe had 2 tablespoons of oil in it, which is way too much. So I've changed that recipe a little bit. So we're going to make our Tempeh bacon. So I'm going to do our camera magic down to here. Everyone can see. Awesome. Everyone can see. Awesome. So we have our Tempeh. I was just catching up on the chat there because I think you guys are a little bit behind me. So this is half a block of Tempeh, and we're just going to slice it into little bits about that thick. So not too thick at all. And actually, we are just making our own, but you can buy Light Life tempeh in this exact package, already smoky flavored like bacon. But I like to buy the plain stuff and make my own marinade because I know what's in it. And then also you can use it for other stuff if you don't want like a bacon flavor. So we've got that all chopped up, and you can just make sure the little end piece is thin. So we have that. And so we have to make our marinade. So again, my other recipe for the bacon marinade had 2 tablespoons of oil in it. And all I did with the recipe was just take out the oil, and I've already cooked a test batch and had a taste test. And it tastes completely fine without the oil in it. So I think that I'll just always cook it without oil from now on. So again, so let's do our recipe. So there's going to be 1 tablespoon of tamari. This is a half tablespoon, so I have to do 2. So that's 1 tablespoon of the tamari. And then I put in then 1 tablespoon of soy sauce just to get a different flavor. But if you did 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, or 2 tablespoons of tamari, you'd be just fine. It's a similar flavor, but not quite the same. So we have that. And then we're going to do half a tablespoon of our maple syrup. And I think Mark, my dad, was telling me he was recently at a pancake house, and they probably had really good maple syrup there. So half a tablespoon of our maple syrup. And then we have some liquid smoke. So we're going to put that in. And again, this is something you can get at most grocery stores in the barbecue sauce aisle. It's not like a special ingredient. So just a couple of shakes of that, or like a 1/4 to a half a teaspoon. Actually, I'll put a bit more. And then I add this in as well. But if you didn't have liquid smoke, or you didn't want to eat liquid smoke, you can use smoked paprika. So I always just put a bit of that in anyway. Bit of a different smoke flavor. And then of course my other favorite ingredient is our nutritional yeast. So I'm almost done my jar. I got to refill that. And then we're going to put 1.5 tablespoons. And actually I was worried that because there was no oil in it that it wouldn't stick to the tempeh to marinate it. And the nutritional yeast actually does the job of that because it makes it thick. And then that's what sticks it to the tempeh. So you really don't need, if you have a non-stick pan or an air fryer, you don't need any oil at all for this recipe. And then we're also going to add some black pepper because I love black pepper. Awesome. So this is all you need. So this is for half of this, and I had extra left over. But if you were doing the whole package, you could probably double this recipe. And then whenever I have leftover of this, I just keep it, and then you can make some tofu bacon crumble. You can use the bacony marinade later. So here's the extra I had left over from my test batch. And so you want to put the tempeh in like a long flat container versus a deep one. So you can lay it flat so all the marinade gets over it. So we're going to put that in our little flat container like that. Spread it out as much as you can and pour that right on top. Let's get an action shot of that. Look how thick it is. It's awesome. So like I said, you could do tofu with this. You could do different meat substitutes and add your own bacony flavor. You could do like cauliflower steaks and put this on it. It's really versatile. So then let's mix that all together. So you can see that it's really coating it. And actually, I think it's even coating it better than with the oil because the oil would just like run off. This is actually soaking in. So that is what you have there. And then I would let this sit, at least 5 minutes, but overnight, probably the tempeh would really soak this up and it would be pretty awesome. So you're going to leave this at least for 5 minutes. So I'm just going to throw this stuff in the fridge. And then I'll show you, I cooked mine in the air fryer. Ooh, making noise here. So there's mine that I cooked in the air fryer, and you can hear that they're nice and crispy. So that's what they come out looking like. And then, you know, if you make a whole batch of this, you can use it on your Caesar salad. You can put it on sandwiches, have a nice BLT. You're laughing. Ooh, I think I just burned myself. Anyway, so this is amazing. I have to do a taste test. Really good. So the air fryer got it nice and crispy. You could also bake it or pan fry it in a non-stick pan, and then you have your little pieces of bacon. And the Light Life tempeh I find is like a bit, I don't know, I find like it's a little bit expensive, but you can get tempeh pretty much anywhere now, so find whatever works for you and make yourself some tempeh bacon. And probably the calories in the marinade that actually end up on your bacon, probably very minimal. So you can have a whole half pack of bacon for 160 tempeh calories. So now we're going to make the sauce, the Caesar dressing that we need for our awesome Caesar salad. And again, usually a lot of salad dressings are like high calorie, high oil, high whatever you buy in the store. It's not great. And it's something I think people think it's like a big deal to make your own salad dressing all the time. But everything that I've made, like my ranch, we make different Asian sort of inspired salad dressings. It only takes like a couple of minutes. And then if you make a whole batch, then you have it for the whole week. So it's really not that big of a deal. It just takes a few minutes. So in this Caesar salad dressing, and I don't know if my cousin is joining in the chat, but she had at one time given me a really amazing vegan Caesar salad dressing, which was so good, except for the fact that it had a ton of the Hellmann's vegan mayonnaise in it. So not as healthy choice that I want to eat right now in my life. So I found this other recipe and we're going to give it a go. So the secret ingredient for this recipe that's going to give you the creaminess and the sort of fat content where you're like have this delicious dressing is actually almond flour. Can't see it too well in that light. So we have some almond flour, and that is going to thicken the dressing and give us that like creamy fattiness that we want. So for this recipe, for the dressing and for most salad dressings that you make, it's really easy to put it in a blender. So I just have an old bullet blender, and that's what we're going to use. So let's see how to do this one. So we've got our blender. I'm just going to put the base aside. And so to start with this, we have 2 tablespoons of almond flour. So we're going to put that in. And then we have 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, which I think I took all the rind off of. So there we have our garlic. And then I'm not a huge fan of this by itself, but in ingredients it's good. So we have Dijon mustard, which is going to be 1 tablespoon if I can get it out. I'll have to be a little bit messy on this one. So actually this is another place where I've adjusted the recipe that I found, because the original recipe for this had 3 tablespoons of Dijon, which I did not have, and also I did not want to eat. So we're going to change that. I'm going to wipe my hand off here. So, and then we have 2 tablespoons of the tamari. So again, you can use tamari or soy sauce, or there's something that I've never tried. They're called liquid aminos, like coconut aminos. You could also use that as well. So we're going to do 2 of those. I don't know if anyone else has these big tamari bottles. They always leak. I don't know if we should like petition the company to make better bottles, but they're always leaking. So 2 tablespoons of tamari, and then we have 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. It is the magic. So this is 1.5 tablespoons, so I've got to do 2. So So 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Again, that's going to give us also a thickness and a creaminess, which is going to be delicious. And then we have a 1/4 cup of water. So I'm just going to try this, but my instinct usually with water is to put like less and then add, but we're just going to go with a 1/4 cup because we want to get that ready. And then another thing that I wanted to add to this recipe, because it came from my cousin Dana's recipe, is a little bit of capers, because that's traditional in Caesar salad dressing as well, and it'll just give it that edge. But every time I usually pour these out, I end up like pouring out all the liquid. So I'm just using a teeny tiny spoon, and I'm just gonna put, so this is like a 1/4 teaspoon measurer, and I'm just gonna like maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Let's try that much and then we'll see how it tastes, because I have no idea how it's gonna taste. So we're gonna whiz this up. And again, we want it nice and smooth because it's a salad dressing. We want it to layer on the lettuce well, but we also want to make sure that we blend it enough to chop up the garlic and those capers, because you don't want a giant chunk of either of those things while you're eating your salad. So I'm just going to give it a shake to get everything off. Loud. I know that sounds horrible for you guys when I do that, but it had to be done. Okay, so we've got a pretty runny sauce, but there is a few chunks there, so I am going to just whiz it up a little bit more, because I don't want to eat that. So that probably is good. Okay, so there is our amazing dressing. Let's pour that out and see what that looks like. Yeah, so that is like a really nice texture. That's a lot of dressing too. Like I'll scrape that out later, but you'll get a lot more from that in the lid. And then, so I've calculated these calories, and I'm going to have a whole half of this. It's a lot, but I'm going to put a half of this on. It's only 95 calories for a whole half of this recipe, which is pretty good considering a lot of salad dressings and creamy stuff like that is way more than that. So I'm totally happy with that. And now we can put together our salad. So we have a little salad going on here. And we're going to put our dressing on. This is just for display purposes. There we go. Put a little bit more. And then we'll give it a little mix, and then I'll put the bacon on, and then I'm so excited to do this taste test with this salad dressing because I have not even tried it before, actually. Ooh, it's pretty good, actually, so I'm excited. So I'm going to break these up a little bit. Just get a few of them on here. Oh, my camera. Okay. What? So we made a really awesome Caesar salad. And the other thing you could do, I think I did on a different video, was get the ends of like maybe a loaf of bread that you have in the cupboard and chop those up and cover them with herbs and spices, some nutritional yeast, and you can throw those bread crumbs or bread pieces in the air fryer as well and have some croutons for your salad. So let's see how it tastes. We'll get a little bit of veggies in here, and we'll get some, maybe we won't get some bacon bits. There's too much on my fork. Okay, so that looks awesome. And this is just for the taste test, but I am going to cover my salad in this delicious salad dressing. So let's see how it tastes all combined. Mmm. No, I have to chew my giant mouthful. Mmm. That Caesar salad dressing is really good. I can't taste the Dijon too much, which is good for me. If you like Dijon, it's fine. But I probably would actually add in a little bit more capers. They're not as strong with just that amount. So I put in like a heaping quarter, maybe half a teaspoon. And I would put more than that, maybe some of the liquid, and you get that sharp thing. I get the garlic in there. And then underneath it all is this like crispy, smoky bacon flavor. So really good. So I'm going to post the recipe for the salad dressing. I'm going to underneath the video when I edit it. And I'm also going to put my modified bacon marinade up there. But just, it's really good to know that like I'm trying to be healthy and lose a bit of weight, and I'm doing this whole like weight loss app, that I can make food like this that like is what I'm used to. It's what I remember. It's classic food that is like delicious, but it's also like satisfying and like low calorie. Like when you figure that out, it's just like amazing. So I'm chewing some more. I can't see what's happening in the chat. I hope you guys had fun. Please join me next week. Please share my videos. So all my live videos stay on my YouTube channel, so you can watch them at any time. You can go back and check out the recipe, check out any of the methods I've done. You can always message me if you have a question, but the support is really appreciated by watching the videos, by liking them, by subscribing, sharing on social media, whatever you got to do. It helps me out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to clean up. I'm going to cook the rest of my bacon, and I'm going to eat a giant bowl of salad and love it. So thanks very much for joining me on Plant Life Canada. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.